Hi guys, welcome back to another one. Just a short little video. Outside this evening, it's kind of nice. A little cool outside, but it's rained the last couple days. So I'm out here looking at the boat so I can kind of get some measurements and see what I need to do. I'm still planning on finishing the T-rail on the inside here, on the inside lip. Finish adding that and a few other things I want to do to the boat or start working on, but more importantly, I need to be able to use the boat. And this trailer is not cutting it anymore. And I actually cut the rollers off to lower the boat down to the frame so I could get some measurements to see how wide of a axle I need, because these have 12-inch tires on them now, or 12-inch rims on them now. And I want 14s, maybe even 15s, but I definitely like 14s. Makes it a little easier on the bearings when you're driving down the road for longer trips, less revolutions, so it doesn't turn in 90 mile an hour and burn the bearings up or anything. Don't have to worry about it as much. Not as hard on them. So I cut the rollers off before this winter so I could lower that down so I could see how wide that axle needs to be. And then, of course, COVID and politics and everything else, steel and lumber are way more expensive than it ever should be, which is neither here nor there. But so I haven't bought any steel for it, so I'm either going to find a used axle or maybe just break down and buy a new axle. But so I had to get measurements to see, because the other side's about the same way, touching the fender. That fender's bent, it's been bent. The boat's touching it, but it's not actually putting pressure on it. It's barely touching it now. The other side's got maybe just a little bit more. There actually might be just a little bit of daylight through that, so it's almost touching the boat. But if I put bigger rims and tires on it, then it would be hitting the side, so I wouldn't be able to do that. But I need to get the new stuff for this. So I lowered that down because that's about where the boat will sit on the trailer. I'm gonna lower the trailer or the boat down to the frame like that, and put some bunk slides on it. But I'll have to get a wider axle. And I'll do another video here soon. I have a friend down in Ottawa, about 7 miles from here. I need to go see him. He's got a boat, small John boat like this, and he made a homemade trailer for it, and I want to copy his plans over and kind of do the same thing with this, just size it up. I think his is a 10-foot John boat instead of 16. And but it still dumps in the middle here, so it'll still do this, but he's got the bunk slide so it sits right down there. But he's lowered that frame. He's got it as low as he can go. That way you can get into really shallow water, because he's got a mud motor on his, so he can put it in shallow water, but he'll be able to get it off anywhere. And I'd like to do that with this eventually, so I want to build the trailer for any plans, even if I put a mud motor on it later on, or get one where I can swap it off for duck season or something. So that's kind of how low it's going to sit. I'd like to set it, it'll be raised up just a little bit with some bigger tires on it, but with this frame or this trailer, it's seen its days, better days. They said they lengthened the tongue out. I've showed that in the past, where they lengthened the tongue out to make it for this boat. It's actually pretty stiff the way it is, but they said the trailer's seen better days. It's really lightweight frame. It twists real bad. Just the guides themselves. Of course, that must have pressure on it now. But that's all twisted, and the frame's been bent. If the boat comes in too fast or off-centered, it'll hit this roller, and it just tweaks the heck out of that frame, which doesn't do the spring hangers or the springs any good. Doesn't help it out by any means. So it was time to retire the trailer. Might use that axle to make a utility trailer of some sort later on, but so I'll probably just buy a new one and get a little bit wider than this one is here. Then I need to break down and buy the steel to make the new trailer. But I just figured I'd give you guys an update of where I'm at with the boat and what my plans are, because I haven't made a video on the boat yet, but it's definitely fishing season. So I need to get working on this here pretty soon. So I'll see what I can scrounge up and find, if I can find some new steel and an axle and start making this. Said I'll show you the updated video here in a little bit, or sometime the next week. I go visit him and I'll take a video of his trailer on how it works and what the plans are with this. So that way I can get back to working on this and get out on the water. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.